So in this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing some tips for beginners who are learning 3D digital fashion and are using the software either CLO3D or Marvelous Designer. So in this tutorial, I'm using Marvelous Designer, but the same tools I'll be using in this Marvelous Designer software are the same tools you will see in CLO3D, so you don't need to get worried. And these tips are going to help you get better renders, or will reduce confusion or errors or headache during the process of learning CLO3D, and it also help you to get better results. So before we continue, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell to get more tutorial from Timmy the Creator. So the first part I'm going to talk about is the fabric thickness. Most beginners in CLO3D forget to always turn on the fabric thickness of their garment while rendering on CLO3D, because you can't render on Marvelous Designer. So that's why I said there are some things you might not be able to do here, but you'll be able to do it on CLO3D. But then again, I'll explain how it works on Marvelous Designer. You can do the same thing on CLO3D. So as you can see, this fabric is on thin texture surface. You get, but also these particular fabrics, they have their own fabric thickness, which will not show if you're on thin texture surface until you switch to the thick texture surface. So when I click on this and you see the option of thick texture surface and you see the thickness of the fabric, you get, and if you want to adjust the thickness of the fabric, just go to the fabric section, click on any fabric you want to adjust the thickness of, and I'll click on the knit area, the blue knit area, and I'm going to go to the property editor. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to change the thickness to probably let's say I'm changing the thickness to 2.5. Just pay attention to the 3D viewport and you see the adjustment. Let me click on enter and you can see there's a slight adjustment here. You might not notice it, or let me add the higher figure 5. You can see, you get. But then when we switch back to thin texture surface, you can see this. But then the thin texture surface is just for us to know the in and out, the back and the front of the garment. That is what the thin texture surface is for. But when you want to render, always make sure you turn on your thick texture surface to get a better result and to get a realistic design. It also helps you with that. So the second tips or the second information I'll be passing through for beginners that are learning CLO3D or Marvelous Designer is the fabric. Most of us don't know how to use fabric on CLO3D, especially most of us that are not fashion designer in the physical world. We are just learning the digital fashion or the fashion designing space in the digital way. Let me just be like that. If you have issue with finding or getting your fabric, what you can do is you can always go online and just search for fabric for t-shirt, or names of fabric for t-shirt, or you can also use ChatGPT, name of fabric for t-shirt. So you can see these results. You can see these are cotton, and other fabrics are rayon and modal and so on like that, and so on like that. You can always come 100% cotton. You can just make your research online and you get a specific name of the fabric you can use on your design on CLO3D, or on your garment on CLO3D or Marvelous Designer, depending on what you are trying to design. So you can now go to the fabric section and search for the particular name of the fabric you want to use on your garment, instead of just rendering your design on the default fabric. You can see on this default fabric, which does not make your design look realistic after rendering. So most time for t-shirt, I use the knit fabric. You can use the knit cotton jersey or the knit terry, and I'll search for that. Then let me see, let's use the knit terry, and I'll just pull it on this fabric. I'm coming, drag and pull it on this fabric. You can see we have a realistic texture on our garment. Can you see this? So this is going to help you in your growth as a 3D digital fashion designer. So the third tips is your UV editor. So if you are someone that like exporting design into Blender or any other software to do your final rendering, or to add or spice up whatever you are doing in your 3D space, if you want to get a better result or a detailed fabric or a detailed garment in your other software like Blender, there's a way you can do that on your UV editor, because your UV editor matters a lot. So let me show you what I'm trying to say now. Now we have a lot of garment pattern on my 2D screen right like this. So if I switch to my UV editor, you can see that it is scattered. So what most of us do is this: we select all the pattern by dragging everything, then you go to this UV packing, and most of us just press apply, and you see that, and then you have something like this. So one thing you should note is that the smaller your pattern on your UV map, the less detail you will get when you export it on your on any software, or the less detail you get in any other software, either Blender or Maya, or I don't know, whatever software you are taking these garments to. So what you can do, you can use as many tiles as possible depending on the kind of detail you want to get. So this is what I'm trying to say. So you have these, you can just drag them out, separate them. I'll drop a detailed tutorial that will explain how you can arrange your UV pattern properly and how to export to Blender, because I use Blender. So you can just take something like this and just, let's say I'm taking this, I'm going to go to the UV pack, then I'm going to select tiles, and I'll select U2. U should be 2. You can see this box U2, I move here and I'll select apply. You can see we have a bigger pattern here, and you can use as many patterns as possible. I can just select this back, this other one here. I'm coming, it's still loading. So we have something like this, and I'm going to select U1 back, you get, and apply. Then we have a bigger pattern, you can see. So you can use as many tiles as possible, and when you are trying to export them, either you are baking from here or during your process of exporting, you can just click on this and make sure you are selecting all tiles, and also increase your size pixel to 4K or 8K. 4K for better quality or for better detail on any other software you are going to use it on, and just check the necessary map to get a better result, and make sure you select all tiles too. It's very, very important, either of the two. So these are another tips I'm sharing to you as a So the fourth tips I'm going to be sharing to you as a beginner is increasing the length or the width of your garment on CLO3D or either Blender. As you can see on my screen, we have a t-shirt here. Let's assume I want this t-shirt to be a bit longer. Do you get? Instead of me doing this dragging pattern in the 2D viewport by selecting the line of the front pattern, selecting the line of the back pattern, then I pull this down, you can see the adjustment in the 3D viewport soon. So you have something like, then I simulate. Do you get? You can just do it easily on the property editor. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to just undo this process, turn off my simulation, undo. Yes, so you have this length. Then I'm going to select the front pattern and the back pattern, and I'm going to go to the property editor. I'm going to go to the shrink rate weft and the shrink rate weft. Shrink rate weft is for the width, to make your clothes a bit, or to make your clothes baggy, and shrink rate weft is to make your clothes longer, to increase the length. Do you get? You can do that here without adjusting the 2D pattern. So what I'll just do is to change the shrink rate weft to probably like 110, depending on the amount or depending on the result you want to get. So you can always play around with the value. So I'm just going to type 110, and I'm going to click on, let's go back, simulate, and you can see something like this. And let's say I want to make it longer, I can turn off my simulation, or you can leave it on and also change the value here, 110, and it becomes longer. You can see that. And that's just another tips you can use in your garment design on CLO3D or Marvelous Designer as a beginner. So let's move to the last one I'm going to be talking about is exporting and importing on CLO3D, and I'm going to specifically mention Blender, but other software can also be there too. So let's assume you are bringing something from Blender into Marvelous Designer or CLO3D. You can see that my viewport is empty. One thing is that Blender is in meters. So if you are installing CLO or you are using CLO or Marvelous Designer for the first time, or you've never tried exporting or importing on CLO3D or Blender, you will face this issue. So the thing is that default is always in millimeters. So let me show you what I'm trying to say. So when I go to file, and let's say I want to bring in something in, and I say import, and I say OBJ now. So let's wait for it to load. I'm going to look for something like this, is somebody's logo, and I'm going to press OK. At first, the default is going to be in millimeter. This is what you are going to get in millimeter, and I'll show you the result of what you see in millimeter. And I'm going to select open, or let's select add. The thing is that when I import this in Marvelous Designer or CLO3D, it becomes so big that you find it hard to see it in the viewport. This one might not be too big because it's not a manicure. Let's select OK. Can you see? It is so big. You can see this. Can you see this? I think this is even very small. This is even very small. You can see. So you might face issue of either being too big or being too small. Do you get? See how small it is now. So let me show you the right way to bring this into CLO3D, sorry, or Blend or Marvelous Designer, sorry. Yeah. So let me just delete this. Just select file, select import, select OBJ. Then I'm going to select this manicure file, select open. I'm going to select add. I'm going to change this back to meter. I'm going to select OK. OK. And select OK. Can you see? You've gotten a perfect size manicure. Can you see? That's just it. Also, the same thing if you are exporting to any other software. Either you are taking something from CLO3D or Marvelous Designer to Blender or any other software. What you are going to do is when you select file and selecting export, unless you are exporting as Alembic, that's animation file, or just normal a non-animation animated garment, anyone you want, select your OBJ. I'll just write a random stuff and select save. Comment. So now select avatar. There's no options for, okay, yeah, we have something like this now. You see this, I've not exported out of Marvelous Designer as OBJ. Most time I use Alembic to export my garments, either animated or non-animated. You get what I'm trying to say? So because I've not used this to export as OBJ, it's in millimeter. So what you need to do is you need to change it to meter. So anytime you're exporting or importing, make sure your scale is in meter so that you can get a perfect result on either CLO3D or any other software you're going to be using that on. You get? So I'm going to set this as meter, and I'm going to check the necessary stuff here, and I'm just going to save it as okay, and that's all. You get? So these are just the 5 tips I'm going to share to you if you're a beginner on CLO3D, and I hope this help you. And if you have any question, you can always drop the question in the comment section. I'm going to respond to that. So thank you for watching this tutorial from Timmy the Creator. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell to get more tutorials.